So let's talk about finding reliable resources. So there are a few options to use. So as we mentioned, you can go into your Canvas page and pull up on the syllabus. You can find the citation for your course textbook. When you're looking for reliable resources, another place that you can look is Google Scholar. Now, whenever you're using a campus computer or you're on campus Wi-Fi, this Google Scholar should also be connected to your library. And it should do that just by nature of being connected to campus Wi-Fi, or if you're on a library computer, that should work. If you are off campus, you'll need to log into the library and you will get such prompts to do so to have full access. But Google Scholar will work no matter where you are. So let's say that your topic is racism in the workplace. And, if we do a search just for racism, we get a lot of so many options. So, right, more than 10 pages, over 1 million results. So obviously we can't cover that in 5 minutes. So if we say in the workplace, again, there we're getting quite a few results. Well, for sure in this class, we want it related to communication. So we can search for adding on communication to there. And we're still getting, so many results. Using Google Scholar, you can, select some recent articles. This is a great practice because, of course, theories and practices might have changed a lot in the last, 100 years that this is covered. So here are some different ideas. This one is a full report. It looks like a study. It's out of the UK, so that's something to notice as well. In this case, you can pull up this article and take a look at it. And this is a 2015 survey. You might get some good information. So that could be useful. You might also note that it's in the UK, so you might want to more narrowly select your sources for there. So this could be an interesting place to start. And then you can read and have full access to it. Now let's say we're looking for something in the United States. You can look at journal titles to see what might be really appropriate. Here's one that is from Management Communication Quarterly. It's a recent one. This one looks like it's related to communication. So you can view this one and say, well, this is about racism potentially related to immigrant professionals in the workplace. Well, that could be an interesting spin. So if you want to take a look at it, you can do a couple of things. If the PDF is available, you can click on the PDF and it will pull up the full article. This makes it easy for you to save or print. This may not be available if you are off campus, not connected to Wi-Fi and not logged in which case you can just log into the library website and pull it up. You can read in there and see what might be appropriate. You could also access this similarly. If you click on this, on the title of it, it'll pull up the actual journal page. So we're going through the Management Communication Quarterly site. So you'll see an abstract, a list of references. This might be useful because you can look at who else is cited in this article. And then if you'd like the whole PDF, you can, of course, download the PDF. Again, you can often also read it in HTML format on your screen as well. So the other thing, if, say, for example, this wouldn't pull up a full article or you couldn't get a PDF, you might click Find This at UNL. So now it knows you're on the UNL network. You can click on Open the tab, Find It at UNL, and it will tell you that it's available through their Sage Journal, so it should be at the library. You should be able to just click on the database here, such as Sage Journals, and then be able to go through it to get there. Now, because you do that because sometimes it's not available in PDF or not available through the direct link through Google Scholar, and that's okay. If, for example, you are on the library website and you said, well, I want something from Management Communication Quarterly, and I'm just not sure. I want to see, let's look at a recent article. You can go to the electronic journal finder on the library website, and then you can type in Management Communication Quarterly. Click on this, click search. It'll say, aha, we do carry that journal. You can look at a little more information. It will often tell you like what years it covers. So here we know it covers 1987 to today. You can go through Sage Journals and access the site where it's just pulling up more about it. You can also view it in the browsing portion of the library. That is open to you as well. This will pull it up by issue. So if you're like, well, let's just read through some recent articles and see what's in here, what are some topics that they're covering. And so you could look through the past year or two and see if something's been of particular interest to you. That is kind of a cool way, the same way you might flip through a magazine. So that's a great way to find some peer-reviewed journals. I like starting with Google Scholar as a search place because it is a large search engine. It will do so by sorting through peer-reviewed journals. So peer-reviewed journals, P-E-E-R, means that other scholars in the same field selected by the editor have edited every article coming through here. So it's like having a team of professors that have validated the research findings. So you can look through some different things. I really like the idea of looking at both like some recent years, thinking about the journal name to make sure it's appropriate, and using this to help you find some ideas. You could further, there will be some great ideas for narrowing this as well. So some great ideas there. So next, I'd really like to get into how to learn how to cite information. And Google has a great tip for how to do this. So this quote, these quotation marks here, those will pull up some examples for how to cite. So if you're looking to put this in your bibliography, it has some of the different styles. So you can just highlight the APA style and put that into your bibliography. And you'll still need to use the Purdue OWL or APA style guide to help show you how to make those in outline citations or in text. But this is a great place to start for making sure you get those right. It's always a good idea to double check. This is formulated by an algorithm, so not all of these citations are correct all of the time. So double check to make sure it's correct, but this is going to be a great place to start, especially if you're finding your articles on Google Scholar. Now, if you are using your book, as I mentioned in class, that citation is available on the syllabus, hint, hint, to make sure that you get it correct. If you're using something else, so say you're using a news site or another citation, you can go to the Purdue Online Writing Lab, or OWL for OWL. This will tell you how to form your reference list at the end of your essay or outline, and also how to do some in-text citations. So as you'll see here, if you are retrieving an online article, here's the great guidelines for how to do it with last name, first initial, the date of the publication, title of the journal, and be sure to follow where all the periods, spaces, italics, commas, all of that is important to following APA style. Following this throughout the rest of your collegiate career will be extremely useful to you. So be sure to bookmark this site as a great reference place for places to use. Now, you can look on here for whether you're using a book, some different print sources, or say even if you are accessing a YouTube video, it will tell you how to cite those things. Be sure to also use the in-text citations. For example, you can read here in the note that Jones 1998 found ... A nice way of how that works in citation. When you give a speech, you'll likely also be saying, for example, Dan, in 1998, Dan Jones stated that, as a great way of giving a verbal citation. So we'll talk a little bit more about that next week. But in your essays and in your outlines, be sure to be thinking about how to incorporate these references throughout the process. So don't forget that in your strategic plans next week, you will have to cite the book, so you should include that proper citation. You can use the reference list for the books. As another quick tip, the reference for your book includes 3 authors, not just one. So be sure to follow along, use what's in your syllabus to help guide you to make sure you're capturing all of those authors. So just in summary, we have check out Google Scholar to do search for peer-reviewed journals to supplement your work. You can also you can find the PDFs there and use the citations there. If an article is not available on Google Scholar, you can absolutely use the UNL Library's website to look for that journal, or even request that they make a copy of it and email it to you is also possible too, if it's not readily available online. Make sure when you're thinking about citations that you are using your book, that you are also thinking about peer-reviewed journals. If you're using news articles, that they're from reputable fact-check sources, and not overly so. So if you have any questions, do feel free to ask me and let me know if you need any help. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great week.